Hi everyone. My name is Jerry Wise. And if you're not sure what you can expect from a narcissistic parent, I want you to watch this video. You're going to hear some things I think you don't normally read or hear on YouTube or in books because it's a little different approach to taking a look at narcissistic behavior and how we can heal and recover. I've been working with clients for many decades now and have helped thousands of folks get their dysfunctional and narcissistic family out of them. Certainly we want to move away from them. We also want to get them out of us. And so this video is about things you can count on them for. I did another video which things you can't count on them for. This is a video of things you can count on. And first of all, number one is they will set up a narcissistic regime. They will set this up. This will be something that will just be automatic for them. It's often unconscious, sometimes conscious, sometimes unconscious, but they set up dysfunctional regime. Like one-sided boundaries and one-sided accountability, anger, intensity, emotional volatility, demands, shame, guilt, flying monkeys, who's on whose side. It almost becomes a family drama that's going on. And so the narcissist will set up this regime. There's no way they can't set up that regime. If you took three fairly normal, let's say teenagers, and a normal middle-aged parent, and then added a narcissistic parent, they will all be affected by the narcissism because it will dominate the culture of that family. And I've seen that to be the case for years and years and years. And so this regime is very important. I also think this regime can be external. The regime also is internal. And so we call that the super self. I call that the super self of the family. And it's the self we were connected to when we were denied having our own self, and it keeps us from having a true self now, even. And we're going to talk more about that. So, narcissist regime is number one. You can count on them for lifelong infantilization. In other words, lifelong. Robbing you of your own personal power, making you a child and childlike at every interaction. They are in control. And again, it helps with control because if I infantilize you, I can manipulate you. If I can question your adulthood, if I can question your personal power, and they've done that for years. So this infantilization, they make you a kid whenever possible. And I don't care whether you're 60 and they're 90, you're still going to be pushed into being infantilized. And again, it robs us of that personal power. Number three, they have a closed door policy on feelings, particularly a closed door policy on your feelings. Your feelings are wrong. They don't matter. Why are you stupidly feeling that way? That's not the way you should feel. You don't feel that way. A lot of questioning of that closed door policy on feelings. Never, well, just tell me how you feel. Is not going to be a question the narcissist is going to ask unless there's something in it for them. That they can turn it around and make you the persecutor and them the victim. So there's a closed door policy on feelings. You can pretty much count on that. You can also count on them for having an open door policy for excessive and intense emotionality and reactivity. Now that's an open door policy. Now, it's not open door for you, it's open door for them. Though it can be kind of normal that we're always doing this conflict drama going on. And so excessive and intense emotionality is not the same as accepting and valuing feelings. It's that everybody is reactive, highly anxious, there's chronic anxiety in the family, and that gets pinged in this regime. And so everybody is up and down and up and down and up and down. Then the narcissistic parent is happy and you're not. Then you're happy and the narcissistic parent is not happy. And so we just do that seesaw of the open door policy of excessive and intense emotionality. Fifthly, a closed, rigid, limited communication. Communication is not open. It's always got rails. It's always got gutters on each side. If you think of bowling, but it has rails and fences, and you can only talk a certain way. And it generally tends to be one-sided when it comes to the narcissistic parent. I talk, you listen. I talk, and I'm right, and when you talk, you're wrong. You will hear, don't talk like that. Don't talk about that. No, that never even happened. So it shuts down the communication in the family. It's not an open communication. It's very, very limited. And that we can count on from the narcissist and from our parent. And also from siblings if they're narcissists, or any narcissist for that matter. But I tend to focus on the family dynamics. Number 6, you can count on abuses and personal violations. That's very common. Verbal abuse, mental abuse, emotional abuse, physical abuse, violations of boundaries. If those things are happening, again, that's what you can count on from the narcissistic parent. They need to do that to bolster their own sense of control and their own false self, because then they will feel in control, they'll feel important, they'll feel right, they'll feel justified, when actually it's just abusive and abuse. To work on these things, I've got a whole program, which is, you can see down below in the description, in which I talk about your new road to self. I would recommend you take a look at that. It really does help. How do we heal and close down these things that we can count on from the narcissistic parent? Well, first of all, I'll just give you a few ideas, but I go into much depth in the program. Go no contact with the narcissist and the system that enables them. Go no contact, and then with the system that enables them. Because it can be very difficult if we just choose, okay, well, I won't talk to dad because he's a narcissist and he's abusive. But then you talk to mom, and a part of that regime that dad has created now starts coming through mom. And, your father loves you and he cares about you, playing on guilt and shame. And so the whole regime becomes very damaging and detrimental to us and to our own sense of self. So we may want to go no contact with the narcissist and the system that enables them. If you can't go no contact, and sometimes there are circumstances that make it very difficult to do that, and maybe you're not even ready emotionally to do that, then I would strongly recommend you get advice and counsel and guidance for your survival skills and how can you lessen the damage if you have to be around the regime. And that thirdly, do recovery work of self-differentiation. Self-differentiation and healing. And I think self-differentiation is about becoming a new and you self. Maybe a self you've never even known. A self that's never even been allowed. And so when we do this, we actually come up with a new experience of being ourselves. It really is different. It's not just a little tweak there and a little tweak there. It's a new experience of ourselves. And we need healing from the narcissistic parent and the vampiric bite, which transfers that intergenerational emotional system and pain to us. And so when we have a narcissistic parent, we usually get that bite, and then we have to deal with what they've given us. I want to help you heal from that bite. And that's what the program is about. I hope that you will subscribe, you'll comment and like this video. I want to thank you for watching. Have a great day and be wise.